So the story of Rose of Stones actually started years before I actually wrote it. So I'm born and bred Brooklyn, New Yorker, and I moved around a little bit, went to college up in Maine, St. Joe's, the monks, So I was living in Brooklyn. It was 2001, and I was working a temp job at One Liberty Plaza, right across the street from the towers. And so right when I finished my shift, it was a Thursday, and they told me, well, tomorrow will be your last day on the assignment. We'll get you something else, but you went through the work quicker than we expected, and we thank you for that. Client's really happy, but tomorrow will be your last day. So this is the Friday before 9/11 occurred. Of course, that was on a Tuesday. And so normally when I come off the train from Brooklyn, you can go right into One Liberty Plaza from the subway, and you're in. But that day I decided I'd get a little fresh air before I went in, and it was about 8:45 at that point. And I'd walked street side, but on the other side of the street, and so I'm on the side with the towers, and something compelled me just to look up at them. So that's what I did. I literally just looked up at the towers, and I don't know why, but I'm so glad that I did, because it was really my last, I guess, experience with the towers as they were, as I remembered them. And then eventually I went into work and finished my shift and clocked out and went home and was waiting for my next assignment. And of course 9/11 happens that Tuesday, and our country changed. And I was upset. And everybody's got a story as far as what happened, where they were on 9/11 and whatnot. I won't get into that too much, but it spurred me on to join the Army. Like I knew right then and there, like I wanted to go fight for this country. So I was running miles every day, and for the next few months, even during the winter, just trying to get ready. And so went down to Fort Hamilton, January 2002, and they sent me on my way. So January 2002, I'm in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and I'm doing basic training. And I didn't realize that I had some health issues, mental issues that had to be taken care of, and so I ended up having to chapter out. And that's another story altogether, but I was never happy about the way things ended, because I really did want to serve the country, and I really wanted to join my brothers and sisters in arms, defending this country. God had other plans, though. So fast forward to 2005, and one night I couldn't go to sleep, and so sometimes I'd have Daystar on, and Daystar does this thing where they'll show these really picturesque scenes, and they have like this calm music underneath, and they put a Bible verse here and there up on the screen, and I think they still do it to this day, really. And I always found that to be a comfort on the nights when I wouldn't be able to sleep. And I remember one night I was, it was actually right before, maybe a few days before the 4th of July, 2005, yeah. And I remember they were showing these scenes where it was like, soldiers saluting and a 21 gun salute and the folding of an American flag. And then they showed the shot where it was panning over this hilltop, and there were these empty, like blank tombstones on the hill. And I was looking at that, and it just hit me. Like everything that I ever felt about the military, my personal experience trying to be a soldier, thinking of the people that I trained with, thinking of those who were active duty, always having a soft spot for those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. It just all hit me all at once. And, you know, sometimes my songs, it takes a little bit of work, sometimes a lot of work, life of the songwriter, right? But that one flowed. It flowed so fast. Must have been half an hour, tops, before everything was laid down. So the story, it was like a movie playing in my head. Like I just envisioned a soldier being young and far away from home and not knowing whether they'd ever see home again, whether they'd see their family again, and you know, realizing that this could have been my life, and it was the life of other soldiers, and still is the life of soldiers. You know, it just hit me so hard, and so everything was rather linear, lyrics-wise. And I remember when I presented the song so many years later, matter of fact, last year, to producer David Walker, he loved the song outright, right away. And he was actually the one that said that the refrain that I'd written for it needed to be sung twice. Because originally the whole part, you know, guess we're gonna take the long way home, that part was really just a refrain. I wasn't actually gonna use it as a set chorus for the song. And he was brilliant enough to say, this is really good section, you need to bring this back at the end. And so that's what we ended up doing. So last May I ended up going down to David's studio, and we ended up bonding on basketball and the Lord and music. And you know, even though I'm younger than him, a lot of the music that he listens to I know of. I you know, it's just what I grew up with. And so we had similar ideas going into the session of how we wanted these songs to sound. And so Rows of Stones ended up coming together in ways that I honestly could not have imagined. I mean, it was truly a gift to be able to play that song. In the last month or so, he told me that a buddy of his, Richard Pierce, had heard the song and had volunteered to lay some guitar down. And wow, did he lay some guitar down. I really like that stuff right there. And then eventually Drew Willoughby and Drew Lambert ended up in the studio, and I ended up on a video call with them as they were in the studio doing a session. And one of the, you know, my song Rows of Stones was part of the session, and got to talk to those guys a little bit, and then they were able to lay down what they laid down. And then I got to thank David, because he had the good idea of adding a background vocal, and gotta shout out Summer Smith, because she did a great job on the vocal. And you know, it's sort of like, you know, the end of the song, like I do this little coda, little outro on the guitar to it, and she really did a great job of sort of matching the energy of what I was trying to do. And David even played some keys on the recording, and he's such a great player to begin with. I mean, he's been in the business for quite some time, and I just thank God for the fact that he's been involved in all of this. And also, you know, while I get a moment, I got to give a shout out to Redneck, Scott Stout, Gumbo YaYa Radio Show, WRCR AM 1700 in the Hudson Valley. You know, he was instrumental in introducing me to David, and you know, the rest is what it is. So I wrote Rows of Stones as a thank you, and you know, I wish things had worked out better when I tried to join the Army back in '02, but God had other plans, and so I guess this was part of the plan. And so Rows of Stones was my way of saying to all the service people of our military in this great nation, thank you. Thank you for everything. And thank you to the families as well, because your sacrifice should be noticed as well. Thank you.